Joe Murphy, Becky Johnson.
Yeah.
Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
We'll get some more points to split in a little bit, but cheers.
Cheers.
Thank you so much for coming, lad.
It's good to be here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Good to be here in the Forge. Thanks for having us. You have a single coming out in January.
Yeah.
Do you have a date for that actually?
Don't have a date just yet. I have to get it sent on to Spotify, and at the minute it's kind of like a slow process of getting mastered.
Okay.
As in, like, the song's been finished for weeks, but it's getting mastered and it's taken a very long time. And when that happens, it can be sent on to Spotify and you get a date. Like, that's the date it's coming out. And I think from there you can pick a later date or you can pick that date.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? So
Right.
I think most music kind of comes out on Fridays. So you probably pick the next Friday after that.
And what's the name of the song that you're going to release?
Mary Ann's Bottle.
There we go.
This being Mary Ann.
Yeah. The one and only. The one and only.
Did you put a bottle on it, or did you open up the bottle?
The bottle's open. The bottle's not open yet.
Yeah. The monkey's out of the bottle. Yeah. So we were talking, and you were telling me that the reason, how you go about writing a song, which I find very interesting, is you wrote a story, and then you write the song off a story.
It's not the first time I've done it, but it wouldn't be my usual way of going about it.
That's a very fantastic way of doing things, though.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I love it. It was actually from listening to. Did you ever hear Kate McCannon by Culture Wall?
Yeah.
So that song's about
Another
about
Canadian,
this-
Canadian.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's about this guy who, like, he
murders. He's
lives his whole life. He's living his life, and he's working with this fella Tom McCannon. Meets his daughter. She's the best thing in the world. He does everything. He saves all his earnings, everything, to buy her a ring. That's all. That's the whole purpose of his life. And then he catches her cheating on him in the same place that they met, and he shot her 3 times. And he's singing the whole song from prison. So I listened to that song and it just stuck with me. So the particular song, Mary Ann's Bottle, I was actually sitting down. It's
in prison.
It's pettier than it sounds. Like, it's like, oh, you came up with this whole story. It's not just quite as cool as that.
Okay.
So I was playing Red Dead Redemption. Did you ever play that?
No, I'm not a gamer at all, man.
Yeah,
No.
I was playing a bit of Red Dead Redemption.
But I've
It's a
heard of
good
it.
game. It's
Yeah,
a good
it's
game.
a good game. And there was a scene, it's like set in like 1890 in the Wild West.
Yeah.
So you're walking through the town, and outside the saloon, these 2 posh boys, but as posh in the Wild West, like, you know, they come up and they've got this girl with them.
Two Jersey boys.
They're brothers, yeah.
Yeah.
They're brothers, and they're like, shoot a bottle off my head to prove that I'm a man to this woman. I'm sorry for this man here. And he says, no, that's absurd. Shoot a bottle off mine. And you have to go and shoot the bottle off their head, like. And I was like, that's mental, like.
Yeah.
But then I was like, it's kind of cool, like, you know, I don't know what I mean. Then I started thinking, and I sat down and wrote this whole storyline about this guy. He's just a sheep farmer back in the Wild West.
Does he have a name, or is this guy you?
Josie Joe.
Yeah.
Did you ever watch the film A Million Ways to Die in the West?
I have, yeah.
You know how he's just a sheep
Seth
farmer.
Seth MacLaren.
Yeah, and he's just a sheep
MacLaren,
farmer.
or whatever, yeah.
He's just a sheep farmer, and like there's all these fucking gunslingers going around, and like, you know, but he's just a sheep farmer.
Yeah.
But he still gets the girl.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I kind of thought about that. So Josie Joe's, suppose, kind of, that was in my head. I didn't directly think about it, but
Josie Joe, and then your name is Joe. Is there a correlation there?
yeah.
Yeah. I think I shot the bottle off your head there, Joe.
But it kind of all came from that then, and I started writing this story in my head of this guy who grew up beside this girl, Mary Ann. They were next door neighbours, and they were very close growing up. And of course, growing up in the Wild West, there's all the gunslingers, all the hard men, all the whatever, and this guy was a born and bred sheep farmer. But as I said, him and Mary Ann are very close growing up, but as they got older, she was beautiful. She was going around with all the hard guys and all the gunslingers and all the girls that were after gunslingers and whatever. And the song starts after this particular scene I've seen in my head. Do you remember?
I remember.
Particular scene I see in my
remember.
head where he's sitting down drinking, and like he's drinking with one of his friends, and Marianne walks by, and she's with her new friends and this friend and the gunslingers and whatever. And he calls, he's like, Marianne, Marianne. And she looks back to come back, and her friends are like, he's a fucking loser, forget about him, like, do you know? And then he's like, shoot a bottle off my head, prove him a man.
Yeah.
Because if you hit me in the head, I don't care, and if you shoot the bottle, she might think I'm something, just for doing that for her. That was kind of where the story came out of it, but it did come from a video game. That's the bottom line.
Oh man, that's sick. That's sick. So, obviously, when you're creating this, I suppose it's even nearly like a movie in your head, right?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Like a daydream or whatever. But how did you go about from having that in your head? Was that just a spark of an imagination? And then when did you
I didn't know what to do with it.
try and process it? And then how long did it take to process it onto paper as a song?
This is what's a bit more impressive than the fact that it came from a video game. I'd done that whole thing and I was obsessed with it. And I sat down to the guitar and I had that whole, like, that mind frame of like
your shadow boxing.
of this Wild West place, who Marianne was, who he was, and it was all in my head. I just played, and the guitar part that you hear, I love it. I played it, and after playing it, I don't even know what the chords are. They're just it's real open. And
so you have a little like a riff or even a guitar solo. There's two little guitar solo sections as well.
Oh, that came in the studio.
Oh, did it?
Yeah.
Oh, wow, yeah.
That was,
But
that was on the
came up
spot.
in-
That was on the spot. Yeah.
Even that
Oh,
though,
wow,
we're on the
wow.
spot.
The guitar parts, the chords, I remember just playing them, and I sat in my apartment for half an hour just playing that, and I was like in my head, I had my eyes closed, and I was just thinking. I played for ages. Then eventually I was like, shoot a bottle off my head, and the whole song, and this is the gospel truth. And I dropped dead. I played the guitar straight for half an hour, and I wrote every word from the start to the big finish of that song. 15 minutes.
You just Jay-Z'd it basically.
I played it for that long. I knew it, and I just bang.
No way.
Yeah, and that's where Becky came in. As in, like, I wrote, and I said, if this is all going on, and Josie Joe's saying this, shoot a bottle of my head, surely Marianne's gonna have something to say about it.
Yeah.
That's where Becky came in. I wrote
But
a verse
bearing in
for
mind,
Marianne.
It did all this the day before Halloween, so that's, and since the day before Halloween to now, you'd wrote it, you'd thought about it, you'd wrote a whole story on it. We did a music video the day after on it.
Yeah, it was fun.
Doing all the little scenes that he'd planned out. He had it all written in a book, and now it's recorded and getting mastered.
Oh,
And what's that like?
Yeah, it was brilliant.
5, 6 weeks?
Yeah.
6 weeks,
It
something
did.
like that.
Like as I say, I'd done it that day. It was the day before Halloween or the day before that?
It might have even been the day. You messaged me on the day of Halloween because that was the.
Also, it
whole
was the day
reason.
before
Yeah,
Halloween. I wrote
it
it.
was.
So then the next day, I remember being at work and I was working with Connor and the lads and whatever. It's like, oh man, this song last night is encapsulating my mind. I can't stop thinking about it. I love it.
Yeah.
I was stuck in the story.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't want to be living my life. I'm in this one now. Like, I love it. Like,
But it's like the only thing I can compare it to is like, do you ever watch Sopranos?
My father.
I've binged watched Sopranos, and I nearly in work, and I'm like, "Oh, you're a cannoli," you know, I'm literally like, and then everyone's like, "What the fuck are you talking?" Oh, sorry, man, I'm sorry. You know what I mean? It's just like, yeah. You just get infatuated.
Yeah, I did, and I remember being like, I was on to Connor and I was saying like, we'll do something. I'd love to play it. And I said I wrote a verse as Marianne. I don't know what to do with that. And I was like, hold on, because you had come up when I was playing a gig singing Dreams by Fleetwood Mac 2 or 3 times.
Yeah, probably.
And I was like, Becky's got a fucking brilliant voice. She should definitely come and sing that for a bit of crack. And I knew you'd be up for a bit of crack.
Yeah.
Going doing this stupid video. I don't know. Whatever about the song, the idea of doing that video, I don't know where that came out of. But I think it's because it was based on a story that we needed to show more so than just play the song. But we met up then Halloween night, and it was gang of us. We all done this like music video on Marianne's bottle.
All dressed as cowboys and cowgirls.
It's hilarious to listen to.
So did you go out just before we continue on with that? How long have you been doing music, and how did you approach each other then? Like, how did that all
I do
look?
karaoke.
Yeah.
That's it. That's what I do. That is my forte. But it was literally, we were in Donnellan's and you were playing a show, and I asked him, I'm like, do you play any Fleetwood Mac?
It was
And he's
here.
like,
It was
no,
here
it
at
wasn't.
Smith's.
It was Donnellan's.
First place was Smith's, then it was Donald's. And then you played Donald's again.
Oh, maybe I was drunk. I could have
That's
been.
not a baby. That's not a baby.
But then I can't remember if I asked you to sing it or if you asked me to sing, if I wanted to sing it or whatever. But
No, I think
I got
you
up
said
there.
something, alright. You said something. And then
definitely.
every other time I was like, Becky, come on.
Yeah, we're doing
Up there.
Dream Fleetwood Mac.
You're
Yeah.
singing Fleetwood Mac.
No way.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then that was it.
And then when I heard that, I was like,
Yeah.
she's singing that verse.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
even like the tones that you have, it's very country tones. It's really, really cool. Yeah.
And as Jeff said, do you remember Jeff in the studio? Well, I don't know if you were actually there that day, but he was like, he said about voices and whatever, and he was saying, you could have the best voice in the world, and Becky could have the best voice in the world, and they won't.
Correlate.
Yeah.
And he said, I'm fucking telling you, man, your two voices.
No,
they
it matches so
they
perfectly.
completely-
Yeah.
yeah.
For anyone listening, I've listened to the song. It's really, really good. And we were talking about this yesterday on the phone. It's like I couldn't grasp what genre it is. It's in between rock and
country.
rock, folk, and country.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know where.
And how did that all come about then?
Well, I originally in Ireland, I started off playing drums because I just love music, and I started playing drums, and then I got quite good at the drums and was loving all that, and I started playing in bands. And all I could do was I was watching the guitar player that was singing, and I was in the back, and I was like, yeah, this is great, but
You want to be
fuck,
up
I'd love
there?
to do that.
I
yeah.
want to be up front.
And I mean, we were playing like rock and like Chili Peppers, Arctic Monkeys. kinda-
Let's go back a little bit earlier. As a child, both of you as well. Like, what were the music influences?
My early influences are a lot different to now.
Yeah.
I think
Like, what were your
mine's never
parents
changed.
listening to that you were listening to?
my
Oh, you're gonna-
parents, ironically, listened to Pogues, that
Nice.
kind of thing.
R.I.P. Shane
R.I.P.
McGowan,
Shane
yeah.
McGowan is right, but
Your
the
mum-
Pogues, my
your mum
mother
listens to
has
Meatloaf?
it. What's that?
Your
My
mother
mother
listens-
loves Meatloaf as
Me
I told you.
too. Me
Loves
too.
Meatloaf. A lot of music in the house, but
Yeah.
kind of general, listen to anything kind of thing. But I think I discovered Michael Jackson, and then I just
Really?
yeah, Michael Jackson's the shit.
Well,
man.
I
was
just can't
fucking-
imagine
I
you
was
to be
fucking
a...
7 or 8, and I was
a
like,
Jackson
this
fan.
man is the fucking, you know.
Man, growing up with Michael Jackson, we were like obsessed with him.
Yeah.
So much that we would like pause, stop, and learn. I can do the moonwalk and stuff like that.
I can too. No, genuinely I can.
I gotta see this.
Man, we
I
were
can
in
do it
that.
in a circle
We
as
were
well.
literally in our friend's house there 2 weeks ago, and they're all like Mexican, so they're all like fucking getting down, right? I was gonna say getting jiggy with it, but they were like literally like getting down. And I was like, I was going out to a Wonkadonk show, fucking. So I was like hyped for the night, and there was some tune that came on, and I was like, okay, I can break dance like an absolute fucking. I was going to say spastic, but yeah, sure, it's my podcast. I can say spastic. So I can just do this one pose, like a plank in the air, right? And then I got up, and I can only do the moonwalk with my shoes off, because my shoes get too sticky.
No, it's true.
So I was there, and I did a little Irish jig.
struggle.
I did an Irish jig, flicked my shoes off, and did the moonwalk. And everyone's like, "Yeah, that was it." I watched the video back, man. I'm fucking terrible.
Yeah, I remember me and my cousin just sitting down and just watching Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
I remember going to see This Is It. So that came out in what, 2012?
Yeah, he died in 2012. Yeah.
Yeah,
No, he died in
2012. And I remember
he died
we
in
went to the cinema.
2009. He died June 2009, didn't he?
Oh no,
Could
you're
have been,
right. Yeah,
could
you're
have
right.
been. But
yeah,
I think
yeah,
that
yeah.
This Is It came out in 2012.
Oh yeah, could have been.
But
fuck him.
me, my mother, and my brother went to see it. And I remember I came out of the cinema crying my eyes out.
No
and
way.
my mother was like, Joe, is it 10 ages? And I was like, God, I can't believe it's 10. And I didn't know the whole time the film went on until the end. So the whole video was like an ode to him after he was dead. I was like, what the fuck?
He's not Jesus. He doesn't rise again. Like
Why did someone tell me?
you didn't know in the caption. This is
I
it.
wasn't
Like
on Facebook. It was only fucking like 9. You know what I mean? Like,
oh my God. Okay,
God
Becky.
bless you.
Becky, what about you? How is your musical influences?
Well, I grew up with Meatloaf and Fleetwood Mac.
Oh, you said that.
oh,
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
That's so
Yeah.
much cooler than mine.
Yeah.
No, I did. And then all Motown. So Motown is probably one of my
Michael
favourite.
Jackson and Jackson 5's
Yeah.
there.
Not even that, like Ronettes, Travares, Temptations, Four Tops, like
No.
old school
No way.
Motown. Yeah.
Oh wow.
That's very cool.
And well, in Manchester, like for example, every August bank holiday, they do Motown. So I've been there a few times and experienced that, and it's like, you know, all the bands are playing like real old soul music, and it's fucking beautiful. Like, it's so good. So I've kind of always grown up with that, but like probably like my first karaoke song, my first karaoke song that I ever like really learned was George Michael's "Careless Whisper," which is really quite sad. But it,
Never gonna dance.
no, don't even. It really pulls on my heartstrings still. I used to, in my bedroom, I used to have this
Mother's another
bright.
massive fan of George Michael.
Really?
Well, when you kind of brush over like karaoke, but you're an amazing singer. Like, so was there any like singing in your house or any
My
performing or anything like that?
my sister's a really good singer. My parents not so much. I don't know where it came from, to be honest. But
Skips a generation. That's what they say. Yeah.
well, I mean, I used to do choir, and I used to do. I got put in singing lessons, but I mean, they died just as fast as I got put in karate lessons. So, you know, it didn't go well at all. So we moved on
now
from
you
that
just do
pretty
karaoke.
quickly.
Everybody was
Yeah.
kung fu fighting.
Yeah. But the difference is, it's so weird because like when I sing with Joe, you know, if I'm just doing like, even if it's just doing Dreams, like I'll still get really nervous, but I don't know if that's because it's getting taken more seriously. Whereas when it comes to karaoke, like I'll put on a show. Like
Ooh.
I won't just sing. I will perform for everyone. Like no matter what it is. It's just like Britney Spears. The inner Britney Spears takes over, and that's it. I'm gone.
So what's your go-to karaoke song then?
Whitney Houston's "I Want to Dance with Somebody." And can I just say that I did it once in Numbers on a Sunday night, and a drag queen heard me from outside. She was having a fag. She comes inside and she death dropped twice to my song, to me singing karaoke, and that was it. I'm like, my life is made. I do never need to sing again. This is it. Done. It was fantastic, honestly.
Oh my God.
Oh, that's brilliant.
One for the books.
There you go. Right, so we're going to circle back around. We dropped off there when you said you're making a music video, and it was Halloween night. Halloween night when you recorded
Yeah,
it?
it was.
How did you come up with the idea, and why did you choose Halloween? Because everyone was dressed anyways?
I wrote the song the night before, and it wasn't.
You don't hold back. You literally go. Like
I
fucking.
didn't. Oh yeah, go for it.
This is with all your songs, though. Like, I'm not even kidding. I've genuinely, he's so talented at the fact that he can, and he's got a list of them in his phone of songs that he's wrote, and there'll be beautiful songs, and he'll have done them so fast, and just his creativity is wild.
But
I don't know about
that
it.
particular song. Thank you. But,
No, you're welcome. Yeah.
But that particular song, it wasn't anything to do with Halloween. There was no connection.
No, yeah.
And
The only
next
connection
day
is-
was Halloween, and we were
Yeah.
all doing nothing. And
But
it was like,
the only connection I had was like, oh well, let's do a video because we're going to dress up anyways.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
That
that
was
was
it.
the dressing up
Yeah.
kind of part. It was kind of, all of us were kind of doing nothing. And it was kind of like, let's go and shoot a video down Stanley Park, about this song, kind of, because there was a storyline behind it. Let's show a bit of that, and
Yeah.
let's play the song, and it's just literally the whole video was just going down and having the crack.
Yeah.
And we had great fun.
Yeah, we
The
did.
video was like, the video, we all watched it, we're like, oh jeez, we're gonna do this. We had great fun. Like,
Yeah,
we had
yeah.
It was a great way to spend Halloween night.
We'd not
So
even.
Is
so
is
happy
the is
about
the
that.
video out now? Can we see
It's
this?
on Instagram, yeah.
Is it fuck?
Yeah.
Oh, I can't wait to see this.
Yeah.
We'd
but
not
let
even
me tell
performed
you,
together,
there's
did
so
we?
many, no, there's so
That
many
was-
differences in that than the recording. Number one, for any musicians, it's a whole step higher. So it was played in D standard and it's now played in E standard, which is like fucking note turns to that.
I still don't even know what that
fucking there's no comparison in the way it plays at all.
No.
It was a lot slower. It was I don't know, we changed it up a lot, and that came just before we went into the studio as well.
Well, no, like when we were in the studio though, like he would be like, "There's something missing. I know there's something missing," and it'd take him like a couple of minutes to try and figure it out, and that's why the electric guitar came in.
Yeah.
And he
That's
was
why
just,
Jeff
he just had a knack for
amazing.
it. Like
Shout
an
out to Jeff
absolute
Zip as well.
Yeah.
Massive shout out to Jeff Zip.
Yeah.
Recommend it to anyone.
It was a
Because,
lot
like,
of fun.
How did you connect with Jeff actually?
Through Maddie Miller.
Oh,
Yeah.
unreal. Class.
Yeah, through Maddie. Maddie put me in touch with him. But I remember calling Jeff, and Maddie was like, "Man, you gotta record the songs. You know, record the songs. Just go and do it." And he was I asked him, I was like, "Where'd you record that? It sounds really good." And he put me in touch, and I was like, "Great." I remember calling Jeff in my apartment one day. I was heading somewhere. I think I was going to do a gig or something. I was in a bit of a hurry, but I was talking to him, and he sounded so sound, and I was like, "It's definitely Miss Genuine," and I've met him. He's the most, honestly, I don't know what the best way to put it is. He's
I thought he was
honestly enthusiastic.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
He is enthusiastic about
Yeah.
what we're doing here. You'd think he's taking the bit. No.
He's
Genuinely so hyped about this shit.
He makes you feel lifted when you come out of
Because
like.
he is.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
it's
100%.
Like I was talking to him that time. I was like, "This is great." So I knew I had 2 songs, and the reason I was going with 2 is because I didn't know what one to do. And what actually is a fun fact for releases in coming dates, I sent him on maybe 4 or 5 of my songs. He picked 2, and Mary Ann's Bottle was not one of them.
Oh!
Yeah.
Okay,
So
right.
that's the first release, which he said out of the 2 songs, went in recorded 2 songs, they're completely done, Vancouver's Ballad and Mary Ann's Bottle, and he said release Mary Ann's Bottle first. But I remember saying, that was on text, and I was like, "No, do Mary Ann's Bottle, I love it." Like, and it was, do you remember we'd be at gigs or something, and someone would say like, "Play Mary Ann's Bottle," and everything, so I was like, "No, we'll do it," you know.
Yeah.
But working with Jeff was incredible, because
Yeah,
when we'd be in the studio, I'm a mad, like, he'd be playing it and he'd be working on the computer or something, and I'd be like, what's that? And I remember that particular time the instrumentals were just playing through and they were brilliant, but I was like, "There's something missing there, what is it?" And he was like, "Maybe it's a banjo," and we put banjo on it, and I was like, "No, something, what is it? Do we need a harmonica?" I had in my head harmonica, and I said to him, "Can you just plug me in an electric for 2 minutes?" And he was like, "I don't know, maybe I think harmonica might be good." And I said, "Just plug me in an electric for 2 minutes, I'll see you can't mess about with it." And the whole 2 solos came out of that.
Yeah.
So
Straight away.
You had the song structure right going in, and then
No.
no. But
Kind of.
you said it was like I might mix this up. So it was in a E minor and then went up to a D, or opposite.
It wasn't D standard. So
D
the
standard.
tuning of the guitar was in D standard.
Yeah.
And then it was played in
E.
minor.
Okay, all right.
So then I moved it up to standard tuning, and then it was played in A minor. So that's what's sang.
What was it?
before
Was it
that.
even a lot slower?
It was very different. It's hard to explain.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
I don't
hard to
get it
explain. It was
still.
very different. Yeah, it was easier to sing, but it's obviously better now because there's more use of our voices.
Yeah.
you know.
Yes. So what was I going? I was going to say, like, from having that structure and going into the studio. Was that your first time in the studio?
Yeah.
How was it nerve wracking, or was it more like creative and playful?
I was
and-
at home.
Yeah.
I went in there.
And-
I literally at the time live.
Did you do the drums on your own
Yeah,
track?
I played the drums.
Did you? Yeah. Cool. Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That and it was out of practice. Like, I remember going behind the kit and I was like, "Yeah, this is me," and I was like, "Whoa, what's going on?" I've used my hands and my lips. And I was like to Jeff, he was like, "Who's doing the drums?" I was like, "I'm doing the drums." I said, "Are you serious?" I was like, "Yeah." Like, behind the kit. And I'm like, "Fuck." And like, I had to play the drums properly for 1-2 years. Like, seriously.
No way.
Like, I'd
Wow.
jump on the kit in my house at home in Ireland. I'd jump on the kit and play about, I mess about it every now and again, but the drums are something. The drums are so much harder than guitar. Guitar is the easiest instrument of them all. Like, it's so easy. Everything's easy about it. You start learning electric
What about
guitar,
twin whistle now? I heard that was pretty easy.
I know, that's on the top of the list, man. Top of the list. You're talking right up there with drums. That's why all the 6-year-olds can play it.
Yeah. What about yourself, Becky? How did you find walking into a recording studio?
I was terrified.
Yeah.
Like, I was living out my childhood dream for sure. Like,
On top
honestly,
of the drag queen.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No, this probably beat it a little bit, but just about, yeah. Like being like a 7-year-old, I'd be in my bedroom, and it had this bright yellow wall, and it had multicoloured dots like all over the wallpaper. And I used to stand there and I used to pretend that they were all my fans in the audience whilst I'd sing
no way.
George Michael, Careless Whispers. But I'd do the whole thing. I'd do like the little guitar solo at the beginning. I'd do the whole thing, and I'd pretend that they were all praising me. I'm like, oh, this is what I was made for. And then I realised that actually I'm not that good at music, and I don't really understand what's going on. So I moved on from that. And then
that's where you're wrong.
no, but it would just
You're brilliant at music.
Yeah, your voice
then,
is crazy. Yeah.
Then when I went in the studio, I was like, this is the most magical thing that's ever happened to me in my life. Yeah, it was so nerve-wracking. Like once I got, and I think that's probably why I was so hard on myself, to be honest, because I didn't want to fuck it up.
Yeah.
And I did, but then it would.
I was in there lots of times doing the harmonies and stuff.
Yeah,
You don't get anywhere without failure.
then,
you know what I mean? You
yeah,
have to fuck it
of
up a couple of
course.
times.
Jeff would take 5 takes off you, and he'd think the first one was perfect, but he'd still take 5.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's true.
Because your third one might be better than your first.
Yeah.
You know.
But it'd be like I'd be in that little studio and his voice is coming through the headphones. He'd be like, right, I need you to. What would he say? Would he say sharp?
Oh yeah. But I tell the story. So we were in the studio, and anyway, she was in recording. I think you were doing harmonies to my chorus.
Oh yeah.
Oh, right, okay,
and
I'm really excited for the listeners to hear this as well.
Yeah. I can't wait. I'm so happy.
It's such a tune.
Yeah, but you were doing harmonies to the chorus, and he'd sing it, so they were obviously different to the normal melodies. It's not easy to sing harmony, and he'd say the note, and he might say it to her, and he'd say, you're just a little bit sharp there. And Becky was like, all I ever done was karaoke like that. What do you expect from me here? And then Jeff
definitely sounds Scottish there.
He started pitting. No, I'm very bad at this. But Jeff just starts laughing, and then about fucking 10 minutes, 15 minutes later, they're on about something, and she was coming in a bit earlier, a bit later or something. He says, you're coming in on the 2 beats, so it's 1, 2, you're coming. And she says, don't be giving me these musical, technical terms. Like, I'm only ever done karaoke, I told you. Anyway,
I had no idea what was going on.
A couple of minutes later, he said, we're going to do another harmony on this beat. And she goes, oh, that's the one I'm coming out on the 2 beat. And he says, yes. He says, you do know you're working with the fucking pros here.
I love it.
Well, I got it.
Oh, I love it.
That's you
I got it in the end.
back you in your room just looking at all the dots on the wall.
Yeah. Everyone's applauding me. I'm like,
Yeah. Roses, thank you. Oh, that's class.
I never remember
or
that.
he kept saying words that I just did not know what he meant. He'd be like,
Remember we
sing a
went for,
higher
like,
octave.
soup?
I'm like, tell me what that means.
We went for
just
soup,
sing
but
it
I was
for
trying
me.
to tell you all the musical terms.
Yeah, he was, yeah.
And you said that when you were in the booth then as well. He said something, you were like, oh, Joe was telling me that.
We got it in the end, though.
Yeah, we got it.
We did. We smashed it.
Smashed it. You did smash it. That's right. And we're back. We just took a little pee break. So, if anyone's noticing, if not, I'll try and edit it in smoothly.
Becky's hair is done.
We'll finish these. You can take your time on that one if you want.
No, I want to try and give it a go again.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Alright,
absolutely. I'll get back to that one.
We'll
in a
throw these
second.
away. There you go.
Thanks, man.
All right, okay.
Do you want me to move this one?
No, you're all right. We can leave it there. It's fine. You split the E. We all have fresh pints. So we're going to go for if we can do this challenge or not. You ready, guys?
Yeah.
Ready?
Cheers.
Go.
On the edge, son.
Oh, you
Nailed it.
bastard.
Nailed it.
You got it.
I know he did. He absolutely did. I'm not even close.
I fucked it. Yeah, I absolutely fucked it. What's
Oh no, it's a little bit too much.
We'll give it to you. We'll give it to you.
I'm
You
not
deserve
even close. I'm not even on the G.
it. Me too. I literally.
Fucking nice though.
Some might say it tastes like more.
Does it taste very little more?
All right.
Right.
No, that's done. I failed miserably. I'm sickened.
What's the name of your podcast?
I know. Yeah. Shit talk.
Change his Instagram.
Yeah. Pointless points with the guys. Moving on to the other song that you recorded that'll be out after Vancouver's ballad. Jesus, the Ballad of Vancouver. What's it called?
Vancouver's Ballad.
Vancouver's Ballad. Got it right the first time. How did that come about?
That came about like straight away when I came out here. I came out here on a Friday on my own, but I didn't know anyone, and there was these two guys. They knew one another. They were on the same flight as me. We come out to Vancouver. We get all the flights. Get out here. We're shown to our apartments. My first time having my own apartment in this high-rise building, and I'm like, I'm from Roscommon, man. Like, there's you don't get that shit. Like, walk out, go in there.
The mean streets of Roscompton, like.
Yeah. Walk out onto my balcony and I look out at all these lights and I'm like, this is hard to believe. And I go to sleep that night and get up in the morning and could not wait to get out walking about. And I didn't go too far from the apartment, of course, but I just remember walking around the streets just taking pictures. Like, this is where I'm about to start fucking living. Like, one way ticket, don't know what's happening, just looking around. I couldn't believe what I was looking at. And anyway, the day went on, didn't go too far. I rang one of the lads. Had no phone reception, like walking around because we hadn't any SIM cards sorted out or anything like that. Got in touch with one of the guys, got back to the apartment, got some Wi-Fi. Was chatting to him and we said we'd go for a few drinks that night. And we first went into Steamworks in Gastown. And moved on down here to Smith's. And we were drinking away and whatever, and he met one of his friends from home. Well, it wasn't his friends, it was his auntie's friend from home. That or her auntie is his friend. Yeah, in Cork. And he met
They're
her
all
at home,
related,
They
you
recognise
know.
one another, and she's Canadian.
On a way.
And she was like, she was a musician. I was like, fuck off, I'm a musician as well. But I learned that was in a very small way at home in Ireland, like, you know, because she was like, you should come back to mine, you can have some drinks. And she was like giving us Jameson, and we were like, this is fucking great, like, you know. And she starts playing some of her own music and some of her own songs. I remember listening to them and I was like, this really is a small fish in a big pond now. Like, it was so different and it opened my eyes. And she was so nice that she was like, she had a couple of guitars, she was playing all the time, whatever, and she was like, you need a guitar if you're a musician out here. She literally gave me a guitar to have.
No way.
Playing, yeah, and she was like, have that until you get one, just have it. And I remember being like, what the fuck?
Still have it to this day.
Still have it to this day.
Oh no.
Must give it back.
Yeah, I know, yeah. Jesus Christ.
But,
He's
I've
spare
bought-
change, anyone?
I've bought 2 guitars since that, like, and it's still there. But
I'll take it off your hands there, like.
It might have been the Monday or the Tuesday or Wednesday after that weekend.
Any day of the week.
Sitting down just playing the guitar, and I was so happy because you come home and you don't know anyone. You're back in this new apartment, and all I ever knew was coming home from work and playing a guitar.
Sorry, Joe. At the time, were you living by yourself then?
Yeah, no.
Oh, nice, unreal.
But then I was like, I wanted the guitar so bad, and I didn't know how much I wanted it until I had it, and I was like, I don't know what I'd do without this now.
Yeah.
And after her playing her songs for me and whatever, I remember being like, I've got something to say, definitely. Like, 'cause it's definitely something I've got to say about this whole experience, because I feel like you can write about something you feel strongly about very easily. But something that you want to write about or whatever, it's hard. But if you've got strong feelings about something, it's so easy to write about. And I definitely did about Vancouver.
Where, can I pause for a second? Where did your, like, feeling, or where did it come from? Like, did you always have that strong feeling of having something to say and having something to?
Always.
Even as a child?
And having a way of, yeah, little bastard.
Yeah. So the parents loved you.
Even when it wasn't needed.
Yeah.
I had something to say. Yeah.
Nice.
And it could have been something very fucking stupid, and it still does be something very stupid. But that song was me. Initially, it was my ode to Vancouver. That was what it was, and I just started playing, and my whole reason was I'm not writing this and thinking of a structure and thinking about what I want to say and thinking about. I just played and just sang. I just started playing and I got these chords, and then you won't hear the song until maybe
I know
March,
this is something to look forward to
March
too.
or April
Yeah.
time.
Yeah,
It's not
for
coming
sure.
out, but we've recorded it. And it's sounded amazing.
It's actually
Beautiful.
Yeah. It's
is what it
very good.
sounded.
But I was playing on it, and I just like the first two lines are where the raindrops are dry and there's no question why the thunder seems quieter than before.
Yeah.
So it's basically out here the raindrops are dry, so like that's not an issue. Rain is an issue. There's no question why the thunder seems quieter than before. So everything was just finally great. Come out here and it was just that those first lyrics is just an initial feeling of everything. This is it, you know.
You kind of had the world in your hands in a sense where it's a clean slate.
And the next lines then are when you're all out of thoughts because you've said enough, and your ears open at someone else's door.
Yeah.
So that's basically, I'm all out of thoughts because I've said enough. I want to hear what this place has to offer. I've been fucking at home in Ireland playing my fucking heart out, but I'm out here and I'm after hearing her play these songs.
Being that
I
small.
want to see more of that. Like, this isn't at home. You don't get this at home.
Yeah.
So I'm like, this is what I came for. This is what I want.
It's nearly at the stage of your life where you're like, I've fucking said enough back home, and now I'm here to put your ear to the ground and soak it up in. Yeah.
And like, we're giving a lot of lyric dropping here, but it's important to the story. The reason it's a ballad as well, it's kind of going to that whole thing of.
Cause even when you shared the song to me, it starts off with keys too, and it literally sets the tone for the song
we'll
too.
Get there. This song started off as me just playing the guitar, and I played it at lots of shows. I played it at all the gigs and whatever, and lots of people got to know them and like, oh, play Vancouver's Ballad or whatever. And I wrote the keys and the fiddle part on the guitar, and I used to try and carry the song with the guitar, but I was like, that's not built for guitar. That's keys and fiddle.
Yeah.
100%.
From the beginning.
Remember I was saying keys, fiddle, I don't know what it is, and we figured it out. But then it moved on to the next verse. So I obviously came up with that first verse and moved from there, and I changed my thought process to, this is basically like a love song to Vancouver.
Yes.
But it's also about moving away from your home.
It's very traditional.
On the heartstrings.
It's kind of like it's also like traditionally Irish too.
Yeah. But the reason I put that swing on it is because I'm writing a song about Vancouver, but I am Irish.
And you're leaving Ireland too.
The lyrics are all about Vancouver, but it's about coming from Ireland.
100%.
I
can definitely pick that up. 100% pick that up from the song, and it's also like. As you're saying, it's like fresh eyes on Vancouver, but you're also fresh from Ireland, and you get that sense.
Straight away.
Yeah.
And like the next verse is such a foreign device, making something so nice in a way never I seen before. That's about Vancouver as a person. I encapsulated. It's easy to write a love song about someone.
Yeah.
Like, so you meet someone, you love them, you can write a song about your strong feelings for love. But I wanted to write a song about Vancouver and struggling a bit with it. I was like, what do you talk about or what do you do? So I looked at Vancouver as a person. So it was such a foreign device, making something so nice in a way never I seen it before. It's like a brick to its mortar, like cows to the slaughter.
There you
can
go,
only open the door.
Yeah.
Opening the door is like, I found before I left home, the hardest part since I came here. So you think it's going to be settling in or making friends or doing whatever. The only hard part about me coming here was me making a final decision.
Yeah.
The big
On
leap.
that flight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what that whole verse is.
It's literally like that moment the airplane leaves the ground.
Yeah.
You literally,
That is the
you're-
hardest
There's a
part.
weight
That's
lifted.
exactly.
Weight lifted.
Yeah, it
That's
is.
exactly what it is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I haven't had any struggle out here. It's been amazing, but in your head, you kind of half know that's the way it's going to be. But you still, it's just hard to just.
It's that
get going.
that famous quote, fucking buy the ticket, take the ride. You know?
Yeah.
And we're literally fucking, I'm 8 years in
Yeah.
on that ride and it's still going, you know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
fucking...
The last two verses, I think you know them. I won't dive in too much. I want to leave something for.
Yeah.
It's basically about being. It's about feeling a home feeling here, even though you're not saying where your home is or whatever. It's just that you can basically do this anywhere. This is my ballad for Vancouver, but this could be Vancouver, could be Australia, it could be wherever the fuck you want to go. Just you got to do it.
Because even thinking back, I'm trying to remember all of the lyrics. I've listened to it a few times, but there is no real reference to Vancouver. It's literally is there?
Trying to escape East Van's walls.
But it's
Which
very
is
subtle.
offensive.
It's very subtle, right?
Considering I live there, but whatever. We'll let that one slide.
East Van is the worst part of Vancouver.
Excuse
Let's
me.
just be honest.
Well, there could be Hastings, like.
Be honest.
Whoa, where's all this hate coming
What
from?
part
It's
is
not around
that?
this.
West Hastings? No, it's East Hastings, isn't it? It's East Hastings you're talking about, isn't it? I know,
Yeah.
East Van is great, but the reason that got in it is because on the Sunday, I remember walking to meet
You
someone.
seen the sign?
I remember walking.
Yeah,
I remember
yeah.
walking to meet someone.
There's a
and I
reason
was
why it's a
walking-
cross.
I was walking through East Van.
They need Jesus
I
there.
was walking through East Van, and I had this whole feeling on that Saturday to be walking around where I was living in downtown, and I was out in East Van and I was walking around and I was like, this is not the same. You know? So I was like trying to escape East Van's walls. Get me the fuck out of
Yeah.
there.
I tried deleting them lyrics, but it didn't work. I'm joking.
Not happening. The song was around long before you were.
Yeah, I know. I'm only joking. I'm only joking.
Oh my god.
Oh, that was good.
I'll let it slide.
Becky, have you, since the experience and all that, have you ever thought about doing anything music, like continue on this music buzz now and doing anything yourself even?
My issue is I don't have a creative mind the way that most musicians do. Like the way that I look at you, the way that I look at Joe and how he does it, how he writes his songs and it's like he already knows it before he's done it. Whereas I don't have that, but I love music and I love singing, and it has always been like such a big part of my life. But I can't, and I'd love to take it further. I absolutely would, but I struggle to have that sort of mind that you have. Like anytime he comes out with a song or comes out with an idea, or even when we're in like the studio, like I say, like even with Vancouver's ballad, like knowing what he wanted there and knowing what kind of instrument was there, like it was so mind-blowing to watch. I'm just like, how do you even think of that? Like, how do you even come out with these ideas to create this sort of music? And from like the beginning, even from Vancouver's ballad, from where it was just him and his guitar to what it is now, is so completely different, and it's just grown so exponentially. Like, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
The whole process, watching it, was...
I know, you used to wait. Yeah, exactly.
Wait till April for that.
He messaged me...
There it is, bottom.
No, but he sent me like both songs. He sent me both songs, and I said to him in the message back, I'm like, that first, like, it's like 47 seconds of just an intro. And I'm like, that 47 seconds, that is what I want to play at my wedding whenever I get married, because it is just such a...
How that happened.
I definitely feel that, like, if people even, when the song comes out and people get to hear it, they'll definitely hear your voice and go, we can definitely work with you. I definitely feel that the future is bright in the sense that I think you need to be a little bit more confident in yourself. Yeah, 100%. Your capabilities are amazing.
You heard
amazing,
that from a
amazing.
sound engineer.
Yeah. No, yeah, I did. No, I don't.
Yeah.
But it's one of them things where it's kind of like I already accepted in my mind a long time ago that music weren't going to happen, and it's not.
As you went into the studio at that time.
But yeah,
there
no,
you
exactly,
go, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it was a completely different experience. But also when we were in the studio and like he'd do like all the like technical bits and then he'd play it back, I was literally I'm like, oh no, where that? Like,
yeah, but then when you did let yourself just listen to it.
Yeah. No, it is fantastic. It really is.
Yeah.
It is very good.
Like I remember she's talking about like there was parts in Vancouver's ballad where I knew the way the song was going because I was playing it. How I knew is I was having to deliver that song to people in a bar or wherever, just me and the guitar. And whatever parts of the song that you're struggling to do that, you know there's something missing. So what's always missing in music, the music I listen to generally is drums. Drums is what brings life. That's what makes it move. That's what makes you feel something in music.
What keeps the whole band together.
Drums, yeah. So that's pretty simple.
Yeah.
And then obviously there's bass because bass is the basis of the whole song. It just keeps the whole song ticking. Mm. But I knew the melody that I wrote for the instrumental part was not meant to be played on the guitar. Even though I wrote it on the guitar when I came up with it, it was on the guitar. Every time I'd done it, I knew the guitar was not enough to sell that melody because as much as I listen to lots of music and I've heard so many things and so many things I love about a lot of music I listen to, there's usually elements of songs I write that I'm like, yeah, I like that, I think that's good, or I think it's impressive, or whatever. That melody's so simple, but it's amazing. Yeah. I remember sitting down in the studio and I knew I wanted a piano player to come in, and a piano player came in and I showed him the melody on the guitar and he played it. And I sat there and my eyes welled up. I was like, this is, because I heard it the way it was intended to be played and I wrote it. And it was like, I'm after doing what so many other musicians have done to me where I've said, fuck.
Yeah.
And it was coming from my head, and I couldn't believe it.
I really hope, what I want to say is, I hope this doesn't come as a backhanded compliment, but when I listened to the song, I felt like I've heard it before. I really hope that doesn't come across bad.
Not at all.
No, but like I felt like this is just so naturally like, yeah, exactly, yeah. I was like, man, this is like fucking so, like, I was like, this is hard to, this is so stupid to say, but it's like music to my ears in a sense.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's so comforting.
It's
very comforting.
It is. As I was talking to my parents, and they were saying it's like these songs like Fairy Tale New York and these songs that people will constantly listen to about moving away and about like there's a lot of feeling in Castle.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
With when I played it, it wasn't. I came out from work. I was still in my fucking high vis.
No way.
That's,
Oh no, I do not picture that. I picture emotion that goes into this song.
No,
oh my god,
of course. But I feel like honest emotion, it's always going to come across that way. Because I wasn't saying I'm going to write a real emotional song. I was just letting whatever was in my head out.
100%.
And it's the same thing with Marianne's Bottle.
Yeah.
I've never in my life, and this is the truth, I've never once, and I wrote a lot of songs that I hope, depending on how these songs go, that I want to get out there too. And I've never once in my life sat down and said, I'm going to write a song. I feel I'm going to write a song. Ever. I've thought about something and said, fuck, where's my guitar?
Yeah.
You know, because you can't write, the best music that's ever written is honest. It's something that they want to say. And like, if I talk to you and try and tell you something that I want to say, it will come out fucking stupid. But if I write a song about it, you'll understand. I haven't got the gift that some other people have that they can just explain
Yeah,
what they're
the
thinking or how
words,
they
yeah.
feel or whatever. I can't.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
I'll sound like a bollocks. I'll tell you the truth. Becky's heard me sound like a bollocks loads of times.
Several.
But
Several.
if I
Tell
try,
us afterwards,
if
right?
I explain what I'm thinking or how I'm feeling through music, it's so much easier for me. It is, genuinely. And the reason for that is because there might be a point in time where I can tell you how I feel. That's that time where I said, where's my guitar?
Yeah, because I was actually even just to correlate back to this. I've been on a deep dive of Sinead O'Connor at the moment, and she's been interviewed, and an interview that I was watching earlier today, and the girl was like, the interviewer was asking her, "What's your explain your record?" And then she was like, "I can't explain it. Like I have this physical."
Bind.
Bind with the record, but I can't explain it. I can't explain how I feel, but you just have to listen to it, and
You might-
that's
you
enough
might-
for
Yeah.
you to fucking. Don't be asking me
Explain
questions about
it,
it.
You
You
can
yeah.
explain it
Yeah,
better
yeah,
than I
yeah.
can.
Yeah, exactly, yeah,
definitely. Big time. And that's a thing. And that's why, as I was telling you at home, I was telling you last night, at
Yeah.
home, I was an electric guitar player, like acoustic. I went and I done my one-man show gigs of the weekend for a few £. But all I gave a shit about was my electric guitar. Learning guitar, playing blues music, playing rock music, whatever. That's what done it for me. And like my reason for that is because that's an even simpler way of expressing yourself. If someone lays down a track for you and you just solo playing the blues, you can put so much feeling into just what you're playing, and you don't even have to waste time thinking about words. It's a direct expression from your head to your fingers of what's coming out.
Yeah.
And as Stevie Ray Vaughan said, it's first you learn what you feel and then you learn how to do it. So the more you learn on guitar just gives you more expression to show how you feel.
Wow.
So it's nothing to do with guitar skills. You can show how you feel on a guitar by the way you play it, but how good you are at the guitar just lets you express more.
There you go.
You know,
And that's when
that is my whole view.
That's like even in anything at all,
Yes.
right?
The more you know about
the more
it,
you
the more
know,
you
the
can
more rules you can break.
Yes.
Yeah.
Of course.
Man, going back, like, when did you get into music? At what age? I don't think we caught up on
Playing
this.
music?
Yeah.
It wasn't that early in my life. There's no musicians in my family.
No way.
There's my cousin plays accordion. There's a couple of singers, second cousins. There's dancers. There's no like a guitar player or someone that you'd say, oh, you know. But I think I might have been. Gonna go with 15 when I started the drums.
Okay, right.
Started the drums, and maybe 17 when I started playing guitar. Yeah, and I mean when I learned the drums, and this is the truth, I wish my mother was beside me here, and she'd tell you that I used to come in from I had my drums out in like the shed.
Did
and
you
I
do
would
like
come in from the drums like
lessons?
every evening, and my hands would be bleeding.
Have
Like,
you
I
heard
done
him play
drum
the
lessons.
drums?
I never
Oh,
had
no.
guitar lessons, but with drum lessons, I loved it straight away. I played one beat, great. And I would come in from my drums, and my hands would be bleeding, and then they'd heal, and I'd be like, and I'd still go out. I'd wrap up my hands, and I'd go out playing the drums, and then it'd be all good, and everything would be fine. And then I'd go out again, and I'd come back, and I would play until they were bleeding. I used to have like, I remember I had all like cuts here,
Calluses.
all cuts here,
Yeah.
everything. I just never stopped.
Jesus
Always.
Christ, reincarnated.
Always.
Just to play the drums.
Always. And I got quite good at the drums to the stage where I was playing in bands, and my drum teacher was like, I can't believe how quick you've come on, but it was practice. Practice is everything.
Where did you get the drive to practice?
I loved it.
Yeah.
I loved it. I heard a song and someone was playing something I couldn't do. I was like, I'm not fucking okay with that. I didn't stop until I could do it. Turn on the track again. Fuck! Turn it on again. I would just keep going. Slow it down. You play it real slow. Yeah, I'll get this time. Fuck it up again. And I would just constantly, and even more so than guitar, I used to really do whatever it took to learn whatever the fuck it is I wanted to know.
Yeah.
Whether for guitar, then after learning drums, I was like, this is easy. This is so easy. Like learning basic guitar, I get guitar lessons for a short period at home, and everyone I taught it was like, everyone's going to teach you, well, you have to learn this first, and you have to learn this, and you have to learn this. You know, you don't. Do you want to be able to play guitar, or do you want to be able to play that song?
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
If you want to teach someone to play guitar, it's quite easy to do.
Yeah.
Can I ask you a personal question? It's
How personal?
we'll leave names out of it. No, I'm joking.
No name dropping. No name dropping.
As a kid or like a 15, 17-year-old, like, do you have to be somewhat introvert to go off and do that? Or like, you seem like a very extrovert type of person, but you must be very focused and...
I think I lived kind of two lives in that,
Yeah.
in that whole thing. As in, I would have been very extroverted, would hung out with all the lads and whatever, but I definitely did have my time where I was away on my own.
Yeah.
Introverted with the other musicians that I became friends with, because they were also doing the same thing.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you're an introvert, but you're an introvert with other people, if you get what I'm saying.
No, I don't 100%.
You're all doing the one thing.
Also,
But it was, before I had music, there was no introversion. But that does come with being a musician. I think you do want time to... I think
decompress.
any musician should want to always be better. Like, you gotta want to be better. It's the same as, like, just living daily life. You want to be doing things
100%.
better. But when you're playing music, or it's like your job, you want to be good at your job because you might get it right. So you're playing the guitar, let's fucking get better at it all the time. You gotta spend a certain amount of time. If you're not doing that, you gotta have a talk with yourself and say, there's been periods where I don't practice enough and I'm just gigging and getting through it, and I'm like, no, you gotta...
And yet you strive for perfect, you know? It's like we were
Yeah,
talking about
and
Becky
you're
and...
never, you're never going to be perfect. So
Yeah.
keep
Yeah.
fucking trying to reach it. It's like Matthew McConaughey said. He chases himself in 10 years, who he sees himself in 10 years. Because he's never going to get there.
There you
So
go.
I'm going to chase Stevie Ray Vaughan, who I class as the best guitar player in the world. I'm not stopping until I'm as good as him, but I'm going to die before that happens, because I'm never going to get there. But that's the whole thing. You gotta, I don't know. Yeah, that's my opinion on it.
No, because it's even bringing back to you in the I don't know if we recorded this. Maybe we did this. We were talking about this earlier. But it was when you were in the recording studio, but you were like not hitting it, or you were messing it up sometimes. There was a couple of takes, like anything, you know. But you were talking to yourself in the booth, but you were like, "Fuck it."
Yeah, no.
And me and Jeff.
I went wild. Yeah.
Oh, the amount of intros I do for the just for the Spotify bit, and I write it out on my phone, and I try to do it, and I fuck it up so much. It's
How do you mean?
So like, as the intro, I'll record the intro for this show afterwards back in my house. I'll write it all out, because then I'll tell them like, oh, we talked about this, and this. But I'll write it out, and then I'll like record it into a mic, but I'm like reading it. But I have to do it in like a, hey, welcome to the show. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like I have to, but this is a new thing that I'm doing. I'm trying it out. Watch it on Spotify.
Well, what I would do there is not think you have to do that. Do whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
I'll put that this way. When I start, so I was a drummer first, as I said. I was a drummer first, and then I moved on to playing the guitar. So moving on to playing the guitar, I wanted to be able to sing, because I wanted to be that guy. But all my friends were singers. They were gigging in the pubs. I wasn't. I was playing the cajon for some of them sometimes.
What's the fucking cajon? The cajon
The
is?
box.
Alright, I'm joking.
Playing the box, but I wanted to do that, and I used to sing every now and then, but I had serious confidence with drumming. I was like, there's no one who fucking be better than me at my age and all this shit. You gotta have that, I believe, if you want to be good, but he put me singing, and I was like, I'm not singing. No way. And I'd done bits, and they used to get me to like sing one or two songs, and they'd even be iffy about it. They'd be like, I can do this better. And I as it went on, I kept trying. It took so long, because I had to be on my own, or I had to be in the right company to just sing.
Yeah.
Just sing.
Yeah.
Stop. Nothing else, man. Just fucking sing.
Do it, yeah.
And when I started to do that, I was like, fucking hell, I can't sing. And then you start singing, you start playing all these songs. And I'm not joking you. In the last 3 years, if you heard me 3 years ago to now, there's no comparison. I'm not saying I'm anything amazing now, but compared to 3 years ago I am.
Yeah.
Like, because you do what suits you. You sing the way you sing.
Yeah.
And that's why every artist you like for different reasons. You like Michael Jackson because he was Michael.
We all know you loved
Jackson.
Michael Jackson.
But you like Michael Jackson because
Jesus.
he's Michael Jackson.
Get off his dick, will you?
The whole reason. Man, I'm not on Michael Jackson's dick, but everybody knew me. He's the kids out of it, right?
You're too old.
No, I love him. Well, what I'm saying is like all these people that we like, and you ask someone what bands they like.
Yeah.
The reason they like those bands, then you never hear someone say, "Oh, I like them because they're like A or B."
Yeah,
they like them because they're them.
Yeah.
So like, if you fucking sing the way it suits you and makes you comfortable, then you're singing.
Yeah. No, that's very true.
And I've learned that. You don't. If I'm singing a song, there's loads of songs I sing that are quite a struggle. But they used to be more of a struggle, right? Because I tried to sing it the way they were sang, but I'm like, no, I'm singing it as fucking me because I'm the one that's singing.
Yeah.
And when anyone learns that, it's fucking easy.
Yeah.
I mean that, like, it's. I think we were talking about this, like,
Yeah.
it's, you know.
We were talking about this yesterday.
We were, yeah.
We're going to wrap up the show. Is there any gigs coming up from? We're going to say like next week on, because it'll be out next week.
It's out next week. I think I'm playing Friday and Saturday.
How does the Christmas look?
Where I'm playing Friday? I'm going home on the 19th.
Oh, you're going home?
But, so today is Wednesday, what?
The 6th or
6th.
7th.
So I'll have 2 gigs done tomorrow in the Rock.
Yeah.
Fuck, I'm trying
They were class.
No,
Thanks for coming out on Friday. That was wicked.
I'm gonna go with Smiths and Donlands next weekend, whether it's Friday and Saturday.
Alright.
I'm not sure.
What we'll do
We
is
might get Becky out to sing
Yeah.
songs.
Yeah, I'll be in Numbers on a Sunday night next week,
Singing karaoke.
singing karaoke.
I might
You
come
wanna
with
do
you.
it?
I'll do it with karaoke.
Yeah. No,
See,
you
the
won't.
way
I
you
won't
say
let
karaoke is just no latte, no latte.
Karaoke.
Cardi McGuinness.
Karaoke.
Oh, lads, I had an amazing time
Oh, it
with
was
you.
good,
Truly unreal.
Having a few pints is always good.
It is, yeah. Whatever's left, fucking cheers.
Yeah.
Cheers. Do
Cheers,
you
guys.
enjoy Guinness now, do you?
Well, apparently so, yeah.
We
Yeah.
converted Becky.
There we go.
Converted Becky.
Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, share, and we'll see you in the next one.
Flick, click, bang.
Peace. Oh, I like it.
Shoot a bottle off my head and prove that I'm a man. 'Cause I'm thinking of other ways and I ain't sure that I can. To show some real guts to my dearest Marianne. Because there ain't nobody foolish enough in all of these haunted lands. I make something of myself with that bullet shot. Whether you hit the bottle and I have her, when you miss and here I'm not. Well, Marianne can have any man, but she is all I got. So if you're laying, it's my forehead, I'll take that as my life. Shoot a bottle off my head, prove that I'm a man. Leave my lady crying and my head in the sand. To prove that we'll keep on shooting all these bottles and cans. Because there ain't nobody foolish enough in all